Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars in Washington, D.C. I'm John Milewski, host of Dialogue. We're on the set of Dialogue, where we just conducted a discussion on this topic of the notion of winning hearts and minds, or losing hearts and minds, as it may be, in the Islamic world. And let me introduce you to our guests. I've had the opportunity to speak with, I'll go my left to right, Roger Hardy, who is a public policy scholar here, joins us from the BBC, where he was an Islamic and Middle Eastern analyst. Also Abdul Said, the longest tenured professor at American University. Good to see you again. We did some work together back in my C-SPAN days.
We did.
And also Roberto Toscano. Roberto is a public policy scholar here as well, but he's also served as Italy's ambassador to both Iran and India. And so, gentlemen, welcome, and thanks for joining us for this YouTube segment. I want to ask you, if we take Egypt as the case study and what just happened with Hosni Mubarak stepping down with enormous pressure from within his own country and around the world, let's use that as the case study and do the report card. How did we do? How did the Western powers do as far as this notion of winning hearts and minds in this scenario? We'll begin with you, Roberto.
Eventually we got it right, but it took us some time. But for a good reason. I mean, the problem is stability. But stability means gaining time usually. And so when you understand that things are beyond repair, then you rush and accept the novelty. But at the beginning, it's very difficult to abandon so-called stability.
Well, that stability, you bring that up, but that's that threading the needle aspect of this, where you need to worry about your own interests and national security and international security. In the meantime, that could be at odds with popular
Yeah, but it's short-term versus long-term, usually.
Yeah.
And
Professor Said,
going back to our discussion, opening minds and hearts, both sides. For us to participate in a process of opening minds and hearts, we have to open our minds and our hearts.
Did we do that in the Egypt scenario?
Well, going back to the best, I think gradually we started, our media and others, we started doing that. Yeah, they are doing it. Give them credit.
Given enough time, we can get it right?
Yeah, they are doing it.
Yeah. Roger, what did you think? What was your analysis?
I'm a typical journalist, and I'm more critical of the politicians than my two colleagues. I think that the Europeans did not cover themselves in glory over Tunisia, a place that's very close to them, with whom they had big agreements. And the United States, although I admit it was a really difficult crisis, fast-moving, nobody could be sure what would happen even the next day, never mind the next week. I think the Obama administration was confused and found it very hard to come up with a consistent message. You know what? I think they just talked too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, gentlemen, you haven't had a chance to talk enough. It's been really fun spending time with you. And if you'd like to hear more from our guests, come to our website, the Wilson Center website, www.wilsoncenter.org. Look on the upper right-hand side of the screen, and you'll see a tab for Dialogue. Click that, and you can find a complete 30-minute interview with our guests. Thanks.